Tour de France. Over.
Shout out Keith Van Horn, wherever you are. Let's look up his Instagram. Keith Van Horn.
Who is that?
Basketball player.
Someone in a chicken suit.
Keith.
There's Will Van Horn. He's the
Horn.
steel guitarist that doesn't play country music. Keith Van Horn was on the All-Rookie First Team 1998 and 5th in scoring in 1999.
Wow. I would not have guessed.
2006 Western Conference champions with the Dallas Mavericks.
Just a good-looking guy, I feel like.
He also looks like the guy from Blink-182.
He does?
Yeah. Doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess maybe the sleepy eye, round forehead thing.
Yeah, what's that guy from Blink-182? The crazy one?
No, he's not the crazy one.
I thought he was the alien one. That one.
The alien one's the one who left. Oh, why can't I think of his name right now?
Tom DeLonge.
Tom DeLonge. Replaced by Matt Skiba or whatever. He's the alien one.
Oh. Oh, yeah, he looks like him.
Yeah. What's his name?
I don't know.
Go back. It's not Travis B.
It's
Thoughts and prayers to Travis B. Pancreatitis.
Mark Hoppus.
Oh, yeah, Hoppus. Hoppus Loppus. Actually, let's get into music after we start the show. You're welcome, everybody.
Welcome to the Bad Brothers Podcast.
You've been talking loud, actually. Have you been feeling more confident lately?
I don't feel like I'm talking loud at all right now, besides the normal blowout in my headphones.
You've been good with the mic, I think, is what it is. Your mic technique is... Well, not right now. Your mic technique is getting better.
45-degree angle.
Well,
down my larynx.
Are you feeling more confident, maybe?
Definitely not. Welcome to the Bad Brothers Podcast. Thank you for listening. We're live in, what is it? It's year 2?
Year 3.
No.
Yes, this is the beginning of year 3.
Oh, yeah. Year 3. Yeesh.
We're probably in like the top whatever percent of podcasts that have kept going.
Survived the quarantine.
It survived
in general.
In general, lots of people start podcasts.
I do think we're probably in the top percentage of people that have been weekly content.
Okay, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to do some research
for however many hundreds of episodes now.
There has to be some kind of podcasts, blah 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 blah.
Stats.
Podcasts who continue.
Last.
Yeah, sorry.
We last. Isn't that everyone's goal to just last? So yeah.
Sad music plays. Grayscale. Isn't it?
Back to music.
I think one of the reasons why this podcast has lasted is
Blue Chew.
We have needed to fill in the gaps from old episodes. So it's like we can't just stop because there's more to say from old episodes. Like right now, I wrote down podcasts who last / continue.
We've essentially been updating the last episode for 2 years.
Exactly. So a big staple of this podcast, actually a big staple of this podcast now has been jokes, and we're not going to have jokes the next 2 weeks.
It was a wild weekend.
I don't apologize because I do what I want, but also I sort of miss it. But in its place, we're going to return to something we talked about last week. Yeah, last week. And return to music, like I said a couple minutes ago. And that is the Drake album. Now, we were we record 2 episodes at once. We started talking about the new Drake album between episodes when we were going pee. And
what's the title of the episode? I mean, the title of the album.
The title of the album is
Honestly,
Never Mind. And the title of the episode was Such As. And I hope you liked a revisit to one of my favorite videos of all time, Such As the Iraq. Just a great all-time internet video.
Look at this German cow.
Yeah, we have the Tour de France on, so
Or you didn't know the Tour de France started July 1st.
So we need to revisit because we started talking about it in between episodes. We had a mild disagreement about the content of the album. And I also want to say, I started off by saying, because I had to edit it funky at the beginning because we were in mid-conversation, then we were speaking off mic, and I had to like cut it at the right time. I said like, this is the kind of music I listen to all the time, but that wasn't, I didn't mean Drake.
That was
I
house
meant
in general.
Sort of like house, not really lo-fi. People say lo-fi, but they mean like mellow or like lounge.
Chill house. Chill lounge. Deep house.
Deep house, yeah. All that kind of stuff. That's what I listen to all the time. And
it's like EDM if you're in your private room, not at some Glastonbury festival.
It's EDM. It can be a little elevator-ish. But that's okay. There's a
elevator at a really hip.
There's a fine line.
Hotel.
Maybe in Ibiza.
Yes.
And so I gave my opinion of the Drake album based on 2 about 10-second clips that we played through the samples. Phone. But what I did for you, my brother, and for you, listener, is I set out to review the Drake album, and I would like to share that review with you now.
Do.
First song. Now, Will immediately...
The intro song?
No. I'm skipping over the intro. The short intro. Now, Will criticized this song right off the bat, but the falling back...
For the repetitiveness.
And out of all the songs I listened to, this was the one I thought would most be like a song that I would do. It wasn't as repetitive as you sort of made it out to be. I didn't feel like it was anyways. But it was mixed weird, and the voice was too high. And that's a common theme for this. The mix. Okay, it gets repetitive at the end. Maybe I skipped.
I brought up the lyrics and it's falling back on me
17,000 times in a row at the end. Yes, mix. Common refrain was the funky mix, but.
And what was your listening apparatus?
Just regular wired Apple headphones.
The classic ones. Actually, I shouldn't say classic ones because they've been updated over the years. The bass sound is pretty dang good in them, I'd say. You know, the most modern wired earbud. So next song, good movie.
Texts Go Green. He gets his number blocked, but I felt like it didn't have one compelling idea of that song.
Right.
So people are saying like the music's sort of boring, and you get the feel. This is what you were saying. You get the feel of what he was trying to do, and you were saying it sounded like somebody trying to make a house album, and that's what he was doing, trying to make a house album. And you were saying basically it wasn't executed well. It was executed.
Yeah, he needed to talk to some more house artists. Got some.
Well,
tips.
that's just it too. I looked up the producers. I did my research.
I believe it.
They're all house producers. But I have a theory on that. Okay, I'll come back to that. The next song is Currents. And
Oh boy.
okay, so the song before, I said it didn't have one compelling idea. It's like, give me something about that song that's sort of memorable, that you sort of, the song has to have something you live or die on. Either it has to be the lyrics, the emotion,
a hill,
or a sound, a lead, a quirk about how it's produced. And a lot of these songs didn't have one of those things, but the Currents, this song did. And the one compelling idea of this song is the squeaky bed, or AKA this dog toy song.
Mm-hmm.
But
I call it the dog toy song.
The one compelling idea of this song was this squeaky noise, but again, it was mixed so loud for most of the song. It just made it so annoying.
Yep.
And that was the one I think I commented last week. It could have been cool, but it was like overdone. They should have made it like, oh, did you get it? Did you get that you heard in the background the squeaky bed the whole time? Or like
someone
for
has
some of
done
it
before. I forget who it was.
But this was like
home will know.
Yeah, this was like too in your face. It was like squeaky all the song. It was like they shot for a compelling idea and definitely misfire. Next song is called A Keeper.
It was Some Cut with Lil Scrappy and Trillville. 2004 banger produced by Little John.
Oh, Lil Jon. A Keeper. Now, for me, I had a problem with this song, and it was the fact that it was released too close to one of our greatest memes of 2022, Julia Fox Uncut Gems. And because the main line of the song referenced a muse.
Oh boy.
That was like the main hook. And it's like,
I didn't even hear the words.
You couldn't help but think that I was Josh Safdie's muse when he wrote Uncut Gems.
I
So
put that out of my brain, and he just brought it back.
As soon as that interview dropped, he should have gone back in the studio and been like, hey, we got to rewrite this hook, because we can't be writing a song about a muse when Julia Fox just ruined the word muse for at least like 10 years.
You don't think he did it on purpose for the clicks?
I don't know, because that one actually it felt like it had a little bit of emotion to it, but I couldn't get into it because it had Muse in it.
Mm-hmm.
And not the band Muse.
Which is a great band.
And so here's a deep cut because I looked this up too. The first 4 songs are in B flat major and A minor. 2 are in B flat major, 2 are in A minor.
B flat major, the standard tuning note for your concert band, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
You were only in choir, huh?
Yeah.
This is what I got to hear at the beginning of every jazz band.
Turning, wetting the reed.
Guitar tuner. Do you think I was on? Do you think how close was I to B flat? Do you think?
Okay. This is another thing. Wait, what did I think of the other day? I was like, it was another thing where I was like, Will and I were laughing so hard a couple sessions ago.
It was like almost midnight, and we're standing here.
Speaking of one of my favorite memes, is the thing about where it's like, what she thinks is like, my boyfriend's cheating on me.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what's really happening? And it cuts to the boys like doing something
really
like
nerdy,
super nerdy, and Will and I at like midnight we're trying to.
We were acting like what's his name?
Charlie Puth.
Charlie Puth. This is
Collier.
This is A flat.
We're trying to tune our voices. Okay, wait.
Okay, I did a couple years of jazz band listening to B flat forever. Let's see if I can just bring it out of my core memories.
You do it.
Okay, I'm not gonna look. A.
That's pretty good.
I was at an A, so I was a little
You're
flat.
only a half step off.
Yeah, boy.
Wow. See, that's good.
Well, it's too far. You're messing it up. Somewhere in there.
Supported with my diaphragm.
Meant to be. You need to go to B flat. There you go. I was only a half step off.
That was pretty good.
2010. That was 12 years ago.
And okay, that brings me back to my point about the song. Forget the major and minor. You're talking about the keys being just a half step off for you on the piano.
Songs.
That's just whatever notes are next to each other on the piano. If you were to touch all the keys in a row, white or black, it'd just go up the keyboard. If you just touch every single one of the white keys and black keys, those are half steps. So you're a B flat and an A that's the shortest
Next to
distance
each
you
other.
can make in Western music. And
Unless you're Jacob Collier.
and you were talking about this too, and I even put a little music. Did you listen to the episode?
Here's a B flat. Just kidding. I was gonna fart in
B
the
flat between my legs.
Did I what?
Did you listen to the episode?
No, I haven't listened to
Put a little
anything.
You go, and Drake did his little or whatever.
His
and
voice.
I did a little sound.
To match
I
my
did a little
singing.
music under it.
Oh man.
But you gave an example of his little droney, whiny kind of
Yes.
thing, and that's his thing. It's fine. It's what it is.
To me, it's like emotionless.
But okay.
To me, it's like he's trying to act like a sad boy, but it comes across as no emotion.
Yeah, there's a dryness to it, which is why if you have 4 songs that are all like in the same key and he's sort of singing in the same range, it just adds
No
to the
range.
thing. It just adds to the thing that they all sound the same.
Yep.
It just sounds like you're listening to one like 20-minute piece of music rather than 4 different songs. You know what I mean?
Don't say piece of music like people say this piece when they're talking about like an art piece of art or food.
Well, I listened to a video about what makes music cheesy, but it was a lady who played classical, and they were talking about pieces. And I'm not talking about a piece on a guy.
Yeah.
They were actually talking about music pieces, Rachmaninoff and stuff like that.
Ooh. Chopping. I think I like chopping.
Chopper broccoli.
I like the guy, I forget his name. Maybe it was Choppin that did the planets. Have you heard of that classical score? That's not the planets. That was a C, by the way, right there. That's from a movie. It's a score. I believe it was 9 at the time. Gustav Holst. The Planets.
Shout out wherever you are.
I think it was when Pluto was still a thing.
I think, isn't it back?
No. It's a dwarf.
Okay.
Are you allowed to say that? Dwarf planet?
Yeah, dwarf is in
Dwarf's in.
because it's dwarfism.
Right.
Okay, I'm going to continue.
It's a 7-movement orchestral suite by the English composer Gustav Holst, written between 1914 and 1917.
Calling My Name. That's next. This one started off different, and it sort of sounded a little bit different, but I can't have the P word in a serious song. And this is my problem with the Ariana Grande album, is like, this is a word I don't use in my normal daily life. And it's the word pussy. And I don't like hearing it in a song.
Oh, yeah, he says it a few times.
It's just,
1, 2.
it sounds
3,
weird in a
4.
serious song. Like, it just.
And also, to my point, he says the same paragraph 4 times in a row. Your pussy is calling my name, so come on, baby, let's stop playing games. 4 times in a row.
I know. Okay, next song, I'm going to keep moving. Sticky. This song was fine. Decent idea, but it was a little long because it's like, it had a decent idea, but not decent enough to carry for 4 minutes. Like, make it 3 minutes, you know? But already, you're on song 7 by this point. So it's like you've dug yourself so deep a hole that you know, one sort of mediocre song is not going to pull you out of it, you know? Next song, Massive. And this is more dance, but it still had Drake's. Can you do it again?
I can't. I haven't listened to it in a while.
Yeah, but you get it. Exactly. That's what actually, that's what this album needed, was melody help. If he would have changed the melody up more, it would have gone, you know, it would have done a lot of work for this album. The next song was Flights Booked, and that's as far as I got. I had to tap out. I think there was like 2 songs left.
Wait, why'd you have to tap out?
Because it was the same.
Yeah.
It was the same.
Yeah.
And so I would say the sounds were not diverse enough.
Right.
And
you had 4 more songs to go. 5 more songs to go.
Sticky had like loud kicks instead of just the kind of drony. But so Sticky came through with a different idea.
Oh yeah, it was like a syncopated.
Yeah. And if you listen to it not on a phone, it had like more. All the kicks had like a kind of like a
very punchy.
Yeah, punch to it. But yeah, same-ish keys, everything. But also, okay, because we talked about this, is I did go and look up the producers, and there was different producers, or there were some the same, and then some mixed and everything. But there were different producers for each song, and so
any names we would know?
No.
Any songs we would know?
I didn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know who. I guess this is probably ultimately on Drake. But if you're going to do songs with a bunch of different producers, and you're going to say like, hey, we're going to do a mellow house style album, but it's going to be urban, or it's going to be R&B music still. It's not going to be beach house, tropical, or something like that. Yeah, it's not going to be Bauhaus either. It's so then it's on you if you're going to use a bunch of different producers, and you say like, okay, we're going to do 2 songs, we're going to do 3 songs, or whatever.
I feel like you needed to get some featuring.
He needed some
Kygo.
He needed some feet dots.
You know.
Yes.
And that way they could produce the album, get the right beats and stuff going, and then throw in his ideas and his signature stuff.
Yeah, so it's either on
to get
him,
that sort of cross platform.
Yeah, it's either on him or onto his team or whatever, to say like, because if you say to this person, or we're going to do 3 songs, and they sort of come up with ideas sort of in this range, and then you have this producer coming up with 3, and then another and another. So let's say you have 4 coming up with 3 songs or whatever. But they do 3 that all kind of sound, okay, I'm going to do mellow house, R&B style songs. Right. And then boom, 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 boom. You got to tell these guys, like, hey, I'm doing a bunch of these, and so we got to come up with some different ideas for your group of songs that's going to make them pop, because
they all can't sound the same.
Even though if you look up the producer list on all the songs, even though they have different producers, they still all sound the same.
Yep.
And so I feel like that would ultimately come back on him.
I 100% agree.
Get some melody help next time.
So ultimately, 1 to 10, Drake's album. 10,
the songs?
10 being Jam of the Summer, 1 being I can't even listen to it at all.
I'll say this. Pick any individual song, and I would say, 5, possibly even a 6 for a couple of them. But as an album, you're dropping down to 4 territory.
Yeah. Did I say this last time? I see the usability for like a club / hip restaurant, something like that, for it to be playing in the background 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're not listening to like the whole album or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I like to do at home. I don't listen to Drake, but I put up get the Spotify hooked up to my little speaker setup at home, and, just keep it playing at night, when we're not all sitting in that room, and I can kind of
keep the vibes going.
Yes. Keep those vibes going around the house, and possibly maybe even out on the street, if the neighbors need to hear too.
Yep.
Because sometimes they can't hear the notes, but from inside the house you hear and you hear
like in someone's trunk.
You hear the old windows rattling. Yeah, that's what goes on at our casa.
Yeah.
Especially if Tammy's not there, really just
like an old donk rolling through Tacoma.
But donk.
Your 86 Lincoln Continental sitting on 28s.
28s.
Lifted.
Oh, those are hilarious, where they get the giant hula hoop wheels.
I think that's what they call those.
Hoopties?
Donks.
Donks?
Yeah.
Dude, I need to go to Urban Dictionary more.
Siri, Urban Dictionary. Donks.
Okay, then talk about 4th of July.
Merriam-Webster says donk is donkey.
Oh, come on. I was urbaning.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yes. Role reversal.
Okay. 4th of July. I was going to go back a little back and forth with you, but
yeah,
at home.
I'll be back quickly.
Did you have a good 4th of July?
What? Sorry, I'm doing this. A donk in the desert. Urban Dictionary defines donk as any late 80s or early 90s car, preferably Impala, that has large enough wheels installed until it resembles and rides and handles like a Conestoga wagon.
Called it donk.
Wow.
Dude.
But it could be another name for the butt of a typical African or Latina woman who has a thin figure.
Yeah, dude, just once you're urban like me, you just know these phrases and
dude, you're so
colloquialisms. Did I use that right?
Yes.
Colloquialism. Don't forget it. Mark that. 4th of July. I got home for work Thursday, ended up having Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off. Can you believe that?
I can't.
So Friday, I forgot what happened. But Saturday,
Good story. Sorry.
I can't. I've slept since then.
I
That's
know.
practically a week ago.
I'm only laughing because that's similar to me.
Saturday, met the GF's fam in Woodinville and did wine tasting.
Oh, yeah. I was going to ask you if that was a setup tasting or you just went there or...
You can just go in.
What was the
You can
sitch?
just go in, fly by the seat of your pants, because every place has them.
And it's not like scheduled on a time. It's like...
You can just go order a tasting. And
okay.
They do it. So
That's what I was wondering. I didn't know how it works.
I had never been to this place, Chateau Saint Michel.
Oh, yes.
Probably
You never been for a concert or anything?
No.
I thought you might have done that.
I've done Marymore Park concerts, not the Chateau, which when we were there that evening was going to be Trombone Shorty, which I was really bummed that we weren't able to get.
They get some big people.
He's
out
from
there.
New Orleans, and he's on a lot of like Southern rap albums as well. But
I know some people who went to like James Taylor like last year.
they have huge people there. They're all sold out pretty much for the rest of the year, all their concerts.
Yeah.
But we heard the sound check of it. But yeah, you could just go in there, and there we didn't get a tasting. We just got a bottle and shared it outside because it was a nice, beautiful day.
And it wasn't champagne.
It was rosé. It was some rosé that they were promoting.
Only because Lauren, the couple times we've been out, she orders champagne.
No.
Yes.
No. She ordered wine.
I haven't been out with her that much. She got champagne.
It must have been a special or something.
Wait, we got champagne also that one time.
A free champagne, yeah, at Joey's in U Village.
Oh, they get giant artists like Jason Mraz.
Yeah,
I was just
exactly.
joking.
Who else?
Okay, there's a couple. Now I'm gonna list some people, and they all kind of fell off. But we're talking Jason Mraz, the Black Crows,
Black Crows are new.
Goo Goo Dolls.
Are you thinking of Counting Crows?
Yeah.
Because Black Crows is new.
Oh yeah, Black Crows are new. Goo Goo Dolls. Well, I saw Goo Goo Dolls, and then Bonnie Raitt. She's still around. Amos Lee.
I
That's
like
a
know
new
the
person.
name. I can't think of the song.
I think
Who's a good like 70s or like
Steve Miller Band.
yeah. I saw that one on there.
Oh, Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago's great. Jackson Brown.
Yeah, so they get some epic concerts there. And some people just go, so the concert, you can just go to the winery and there's a little grass area where you can sit, but it's like to the side of the stage. And some people just go camp out there all day. They don't even pay for tickets to the show, but you can still hear it. You just can't see it.
Oh, interesting.
But we did that, and then we went around the corner to Matthews Winery, which was just a little one around the corner. And there we had a more specific tasting, tasted all sorts of red and white and blah de blah from all different wines from Matthews Winery, which was tasty. And I had never been there to the Woodinville or any of the wineries up there. Oh, the other reason we went to the Chateau Saint Michel, I was saying, is they just put up the whole grounds for sale, all 183 acres or whatever it is.
I thought it got bought by a giant
It may
place
be
already.
bought now. So yeah, that was Saturday. That was tons of fun. Sunday, we went to Emerald Downs fireworks. And first off, it was horse races, then fireworks. The horse races, I was on fire in the betting department. For whatever reason, I've been doing horrible all year. But today, I was locked in. And maybe not, I didn't do any extra research. I'm still going off my...
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Maybe last year's sale didn't go through. Because this article was from this year. The last article said it was sold for 1.2 bills.
Oof. Was that the company or the land? I heard last week the land went up for sale.
Saint Michel chateau, tasting rooms, facility, office space, theater, warehouse, barrel storage. I don't know. It gets into just above my pay grade. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's on the podcast. I'm not gonna make a bad podcast just to read a Como News article.
Yeah. You can
Read it yourself.
go to at Kathy Gertzen.
No, you don't go to @Kathy Gertzen.
Why? She died.
Rest in power.
Oh.
Will needs to catch up on some news, man.
When did she die?
I don't know. It was a very prolonged, sad cancer story.
Okay, go to @Steve Poole.
Still,
And on his
happier cancer story.
his profile, it'll say former Como News meteorologist, and then click on Como
thank you
News.
for saying meteorologist instead of weatherman. You met him on your birthday.
I met him on my 16th birthday. Beautiful skin, chocolate man.
What episode is that? I'm gonna put it in the
His
comments.
skin was so perfect.
Don't crack.
Yeah, and he probably had makeup on too. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Makeup don't crack.
So I was on fire betting on the ponies on Sunday. I don't know why. Every single race, there's 8 races. All of them I won something on, except for one. One of them I picked the top 2, an exacta bet, as they call it. That you pick the 1 and 2 in the correct order.
Oh,
and
nice.
then the next race after that, I picked the trifecta, the 1, 2, 3 in the correct order. And I think we may have talked about this on a previous episode. The last race of last season, I picked a trifecta with my last 50 cents, and I got it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it paid out
Yeah.
like $35.
Now, one more interruption. This just goes to Steve Poole's character. You said his bio would say something like former meteorologist, Como News, but his bio says just an ordinary guy with an interesting job.
Well, you're on Twitter.
He's humble like that.
Go to Insta.
I bet it's going to be the same.
Probably is. What's his job now?
Why was there?
Meta is under attack for posting girls on your feed. You haven't heard? There's a lawsuit.
Why? Because there's too many girlies?
Too many chits on your feed.
I believe it because I was talking to Tammy the other day, and I forget why we brought this up, but we were talking about Scooby-Doo.
Mm-hmm.
And I was saying how it's funny, like there's
all of a sudden you got Velma bending over looking for her glasses.
There's like always like sexy Velma costumes, and it's just like, how did that become a thing? Maybe because it's the nerdy glasses one
the
or
short
something.
Orange skirt.
And I swear, like 4 hours later, a busty Velma came up, and I didn't want to show Tammy, but I had to. I had to say, look right here in my feed.
Yep.
See, you know what I'm talking about.
So yeah, Meta.
They're getting sued for busty ladies?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're like perpetuating or like adding on.
Dude, that's rape culture.
What's rape culture?
I don't know. You said perpetuating, so you have to say perpetuating some kind of culture after that.
Yeah, they're perpetuating something.
He's Stephen Poole on Insta. No, just kidding.
Who are you? I don't even know who Stephen Poole is.
This says the real Steve Poole TV weatherman in Seattle. So, okay.
All right. But yeah, Meta is under attack for
Tatas, huh?
sharing too many tatas on your feed, on your Instagram and Facebook and all that sorts of stuff.
That's what I've been trying to tell Tammy. It's like,
I'm not.
it's Meta's fault.
I'm not looking elsewhere. Where was I? Killing it.
You're killing it in the race game.
I was contemplating quitting my job at
Race
one point.
culture.
Or I was contemplating. I'm such a good racist that I just kept winning and winning and winning. Is that what they're called? Racists?
Yeah, probably.
Someone who's good at horse races?
I would probably say the Venn diagram between horse racing and racists is not zero. Let's put it that way.
The lines touch at some point.
The graph, turns purple for
especially on the 3rd of July. There was an interesting crowd. It was sold out. By the way, this is just a shout out, and no one will ever listen to this. The Hawaiian,
come on, don't say that.
The Hawaiian bartender at Emerald Downs that always hooks me up. Shout out to you,
dude. Tell him about the pod. If he likes Drake, he'll like this episode.
Yeah, I said.
Actually, I criticized him a lot. So
I went up there and got 4 drinks for our group, and he only charged me for 4 cheap beers, even though they weren't all 4 cheap beers.
What a guy.
Or a true homie. And he was there from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., I heard him say.
Dude, he's probably living in a small house with some relatives.
Mm-hmm. Moved here from Hawaii this last year.
Ooh, bad time to move.
Shaka bra.
Anyways,
I was thinking about contemplating quitting my job. And the Xfinity sponsored fireworks at Emerald Downs, I say, were maybe some of the best I've seen.
Really?
So you're sitting in the grandstands. There is 4 little pods that shoot out a fan-shaped...
Did you go with the sister, too?
A different sister.
Who?
From another mister. I'm just kidding. The younger sister.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
older sister was wine tasting. Younger sister...
Yeah.
Came down for fireworks, and she loves horse racing more than any of us. So she came down... So they have like 4 little pods along the front of the racetrack, 50 feet from where people are sitting.
Pods?
That shoot out in a sort of like fan, like this, like a fan.
Oh, yeah.
Left to right.
Yep. Our neighbor had one of those.
Huge and very loud. And then in the middle of the field, they have the main ones that shoot way up into the sky. And it was also paired with music, so you're getting... the full experience.
Dude.
And they did a pretty good job of it, like the timing of it.
Like, God bless America.
Yeah, they did that song.
Land that
Then they also did
stand beside her.
Okay.
And guide her.
They also did
through the night with a light from
They also did a little Top Gun.
Or the mountains
Kenny Loggins, Danger Zone.
Oceans.
Highway to the
Danger Zone.
AutoZone. So yeah, and then the
AutoZone.
The finale was just insane, crazy.
Jingle.
Crazy. But so yeah, if you're interested in that next year, look it up. Get the tickets ahead of time because they sell out.
Shout out to my wife who had a birthday on the 3rd.
4th of July.
Shout out to myself who had a birthday on the 9th. For some reason, I said it was Friday on the podcast. It was Saturday.
Shout out to you guys for your birthdays.
Shout out for 6 days apart birthdays. 3 years and 6 days apart. My wife's in her 40s. I'm in my 30s.
Lauren and I are 1 year and 19 days apart.
It's fun having a birthday so close together, but
in
we
the
do separate.
Same month.
We had so I told you our street is all pretty much California people transplants.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so we're at this birthday party, and then neighbors so there's one people who go apparently bonkers nutso for 4th of July is what we're told.
Yeah.
And
there's always one on every street.
I know. So like I said, they had the big mortar packs, and they had the cannon that doesn't shoot the thing, it just does the loud noise, whatever the point of that is.
Stupid.
That one's dumb. But their fireworks were, but the neighbors who were like worried about it, their front yard is all like bark, and it's been dry, and so they get worried about it, and so they're mostly fine, but they get also annoyed by it. But also, this is what I figured out. This is my theory. They're also from California. Depending on where you are in California, you maybe never grew up with fireworks. Did I tell you last year or maybe the year before? Maybe it was last year.
Someone didn't know what a punk was.
Tammy's sister and her kids, they were up and they were lighting off fireworks, and
they're not allowed to have fireworks in Wasatchie because it's always on fire.
Exactly. So they had never really done fireworks ever before.
Crazy.
And so I was just saying, it's funny to watch like an 18-year-old be as enamored with fireworks as like a 5-year-old, like Declan was this year. So Declan understood fireworks and could kind of get into them this year.
Yeah.
And that's how watching my theory is these California people, they didn't really grow up around fireworks, and fireworks have always just been this dangerous thing their whole lives.
You only go to these displays in the bay.
Yeah.
You know.
So they're talking about these fireworks like it's going to burn down the neighborhood. And they had a lot of fireworks, and they're one of those annoying people, and I think sort of dumb people who spend way too much money on fireworks. It's like, come on. This is the country of George Floyd, and you're going to send off 1,000 mortars for that? It's like, come on, man.
You're going to spend $3,000 on fireworks while people are drinking brown water in Flint, Michigan?
Oh, my gosh. You're going to spend your hard-earned paycheck when they just overturned Roe v. Wade in Joe Biden's America? I think not.
You're going to send off some Screaming Johnnies and some... What was the Piccolo Pete's when you can't even abort your child?
I wouldn't even light off a Saturn rocket knowing that our military is just overseas to secure foreign oil.
Your fireworks have more rights than women's bodies?
Anyways, the fireworks were fine. I think they were just nervous because fireworks. So it just seems like a lot to them because it's like it is 100 yards from their house, you know, because they're on the same.
Also freaking poured down a gallon of rain on Sunday.
Yeah,
the racetrack was sloppy.
It was fine. Who came in? Who got the silver?
Silver?
Sloppy seconds.
There were a couple of people, and one of them was Iron Rob. I texted our listener, Rob, and I said,
"Does he still listen?"
I think so. I said, betting on this one for the win. And then I told him that it got second, and he said, yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Are we all of a sudden out of time?
We're reaching the end. Do you have more to add?
I was going to say, you know who was not excited to shoot off fireworks on the 4th of July?
Lauren, the dog owner.
The dogs.
Oh.
The dogs were distraught.
What's Lauren's feeling? Is she just more? She just thinks of it. She just thinks of the 4th through the lens of a dog owner. I'm
right.
Sure.
We spent the whole 4th. We didn't make any plans, but we cooked some ribs and crab legs and stuff. But made sure we were home to deal with the dogs. So I'd say about 70% of them not into it. 2 of them really not into it. 2 of them could care less.
We can wrap up this episode.
We can.
We appreciate you listening. Appreciate you listening.
This episode was brought to you by Truly's Poolside.
Oh, yes. We're drinking
seltzers.
New drinks. All right. Thanks for listening. Please share a clip of this podcast. That's right, a clip. Oh, there's no skin tags to talk about this week, but I will have a nice clip for you to share. Thank you.